You wake up chained in a stranger's bunker, and he says the world outside is deadly. But can you trust him? Or is he hiding something worse? What would you do to survive? In the opening scene, a woman named Michelle stands by her window, staring out into the distance while having a tense conversation on the phone. Frustrated, she ends the call and begins hurriedly packing up her things, determined to leave her home behind. You can almost feel her anxiety as she quickly gathers her belongings, ready to head out and escape whatever trouble she's facing. Michelle drives far away from the city, heading into a quiet, rural area. Her phone rings, and it's her fiancé, Ben. She answers but stays silent, letting him talk. He apologizes, asking her not to leave him like this. Without saying a word, Michelle hangs up. Ben calls again, and as Michelle glances at her phone, a truck suddenly crashes into her car. The impact sends her car rolling off the road and into a ditch. Michelle wakes up with a painful head injury in a small room. She notices a needle in her arm connected to a saline drip, and to her shock, her leg is chained to a pipe. Desperate, she grabs the pole from the drip to pull her phone closer, hoping to call for help, but there's no signal. Just then, the door opens, and a man named Howard walks in. He tells her that he saved her after the car accident and is keeping her alive. Howard hands her some wooden crutches to help her move around with her injured leg and tells her to get good on those before leaving the room. Michelle decides to sharpen the tip of one of the crutches to use as a weapon against Howard. When Howard comes back, she tries to stab him with the sharpened crutch, but she misses. Howard quickly grabs her and gives her a shot to make her fall asleep. When Michelle wakes up, Howard calmly tells her that there was an attack on the surface and the air there is too dangerous to breathe. That's why he brought her down to his bunker. Howard then takes Michelle to an airlock so she can see outside. Everything looks normal, but Michelle notices Howard's truck with red paint on the side. She remembers it's the same truck that hit her. From the bedroom, Michelle hears a loud clattering noise coming from outside. Howard goes to yell at someone she can't see. When Michelle leaves the room, she finds a younger man named Emmett with a broken arm. Howard explains that Emmett accidentally knocked over a shelf, ruining a week's worth of food. Emmett seems friendlier than Howard. He tells Michelle that he joined Howard to help build the bunker. Emmett says he saw the attack happen and saw a red flash. He ran to get inside, which is how he got his broken arm. Howard makes Michelle and Emmett join him for dinner, trying to act like a family. Michelle talks with Emmett in a friendly and somewhat flirty way, which makes Howard very angry. He warns them not to act like that. While Howard isn't looking, Michelle sneaks and grabs his keys. A loud rumble shakes the place, which distracts everyone. Michelle uses this chance to smash a beer bottle over Howard's head. She runs to the airlock and tries to get out. As Michelle stands in the airlock between the inside and the outside, Howard pleads with her not to go outside. A car pulls up, and a middle-aged woman approaches, begging to be let in. Her skin looks sick and deformed. Howard tells Michelle not to open the door. The woman becomes upset and starts banging her head on the glass. Now worried that Howard might be right about a chemical weapons attack, Michelle starts to listen to him. Howard says sorry for how he acted before and admits that he was the one who hit her car. He then asks Michelle to help by stitching up the cut on his head from the broken bottle. Over the next few days, the three of them become closer and start working together like a real family in the bunker. Howard lets Michelle borrow clothes that used to belong to his daughter, Megan, who he lost. He even shows Michelle a picture of Megan. Michelle and Emmett also become friends. Emmett talks about how he had a chance to play sports at a university, but didn't go because he was too scared to leave town. Michelle shares a story about a time she saw a little girl being hurt by her dad at a hardware store. She felt really bad for not helping, especially because of her own tough childhood. One day, the air filtration system stops working, and Michelle is the only one small enough to crawl through the vents to fix it. In the filtration room, she resets the system but sees a ladder leading to outside under a window. On the window, the word "help" is scratched, with the L and P having some blood on them. Michelle finds 2 bloody earrings on the floor that she remembers from the picture of Megan. She shows the picture to Emmett, who says the girl in the photo is actually a girl from his high school named Brittany, who went missing a while ago. They both realize that Howard is dangerous and they need to escape. Michelle and Emmett take Howard's tools and start making a makeshift biohazard suit and gas mask. Howard finds out about the stolen tools and brings out a big vat of acid to dissolve them. He demands to know why they were trying to take his gun. Emmett speaks up and says he did it so Michelle would respect him like she respects Howard. Howard forgives Emmett, but then shockingly shoots him in the head. Michelle finishes the suit and tries to escape. Howard catches her, but she pushes the vat of acid toward him, making him slip and fall face first into it. She climbs over him and heads toward the exit. The acid hits an electrical wire and starts a fire. Howard chases after Michelle, and she pushes a shelf onto him. She then climbs through the vents to get to the filtration room. Howard stabs through the vents with a knife and grabs Michelle as she reaches the end. She hits his hand hard, making it tear off. The fire keeps spreading in the bunker. Michelle puts on the suit and gas mask and gets ready to go outside. On the surface, the sun is shining and everything looks calm. Michelle sees Howard's truck and goes over to it. She accidentally tears her homemade hazmat suit and gets scared, quickly fixing it with duct tape. She then hears and sees birds flying above, so she takes off the mask and breathes in the fresh air. Climbing on top of Howard's truck, she looks around and spots what she thinks is a helicopter in the distance. Suddenly, the bunker explodes, catching the attention of the craft. As it gets closer, Michelle sees it's actually a huge alien hovercraft. The craft drops something on the ground and then flies away. Michelle jumps into the truck and searches for keys but doesn't find any. Remembering the car, she runs towards it. When she tries to get in, the alarm goes off and the lights start flashing. The noise and lights attract an alien creature on the ground, so Michelle runs back to the wooden shed to hide. She peeks out and sees the alien lifting the car and attacking the shed. Michelle tries to find the car keys on the dead woman, but as she finds them, the alien starts poking its head through a flap door of the barn. Michelle uses the key fob to turn off the car alarm. The alien backs out of the barn, and Michelle crawls out the flap door. She starts running towards a nearby farmhouse, with the alien creature chasing her. As she gets close to the house, the giant alien craft appears behind it, and the ground creature runs away. The craft slowly rises and moves towards Michelle, spreading a toxic green gas. Michelle runs back to the truck and puts on the mask again. The spacecraft moves closer and picks up the truck, bringing it nearer to its mouth. Michelle finds a magazine, lighter, and whiskey bottle in the truck to make a Molotov cocktail. She lights it and throws it into the creature's mouth. The truck explodes and the alien drops it, crashing to the ground. Michelle, still alive, runs back to the car. She uses the keys to start the car and drives down the road. She accidentally hits Howard's mailbox, which says 10 Cloverfield Lane. Michelle turns on the radio and hears that, "We have retaken the southern seaboard." The announcer says anyone seeking safety from the alien attacks can go to Baton Rouge, but people with combat or medical skills are needed in Houston. Michelle sees a sign pointing straight to Baton Rouge and left to Houston. She decides to go left. As she drives, a thunderclap reveals a larger alien hovercraft hiding in the clouds. Which movie should we recap next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more movie recaps. Thanks for watching. Produced by Warner Recap.